All right. Hello. I believe we are live. Are we live? Are we live? Are we live? What's up? What's up? How is Saturday going? How come there are so many people here when there is CSK versus MI going on, if I'm not wrong? Am I audible? Am I visible? Can you guys see me? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Is the audio fine, guys? I will need some help from you guys. Is the audio fine? Is the video fine? Can you guys see the screen? Are there any problems? Why am I speaking like Matthew McConaughey? Beautiful. No, not a problem. Not a problem. Absolutely not a problem. That's great. Is it live? Yes, absolutely. It is live. What's up? What's up? We are all good. All very, very good. I am just going to. So let's wait for a few more people to come in. Let's wait for like 5 more minutes. It is live. It is absolutely live. Like I can read your name. It's Kuch Tu Mo More Kuch Tum or Kuch Main. Sorry. If this was recorded, I could not have read your name. So let's get a few people on board here. So guys, the Red Bull has been popped, the iPad is ready, so is everything else. The light is set, the stream is set, people are already here. What are you waiting for? If you are aiming to be a content creator anytime soon, or if you just want to try this out, we are hosting the most important session that you can attend for free on YouTube. Here's the link, come join us and you will not regret it. Cheers, bye-bye. So guys, the Red Bull has been popped, the iPad. I will need a link to this. 1 second, I'll just put it in a story. So by the time we wait for other people, how was your Saturday? What did you do? Completely visible and audio. Let's go. Audio gain thoda increase kar do. Okay, sure. Is it better now? I have increased a little bit. The story is up. Will this live going to get removed? Yes, it is not going to be available for watching after the session is done. So yeah. Editing ki pure din. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Why unlisted? This is not unlisted. This is live. This is public as well, I believe. I will just check it once. I believe this is absolutely public. Anyone can watch this if they are subscribed. I mean, anyone can watch this on my YouTube channel. Is it not? Oh, it is still unlisted. Oh my god. Okay, 1 second. We're going public. Done. Save. Okay, we are public now. We should be able to see this on my page. Yeah, we can see it. We can see it. We can see it. We are live. We are absolutely live. Posted reels today. Lots of love. Lots of love. Thank you so much. Talking in your server. That's beautiful. I'm gonna talk about the server here as well. Okay, for all the serious people, okay, whoever wants to do something in content creation, get your notebooks out, okay? Out of all the people who are here, I know maybe like 10 people are going to take the notebooks out and actually take notes of whatever I'm talking, because these are industry secrets. These things took me I wouldn't say 6 to 7, but yeah, almost 7 years to learn, and I'm going to give all that secret sauce to you that will help you navigate through your content creation life much easier and much faster. So yeah, be one of those 10 people who actually take out the notebook and take notes. Cool. By the way, can we also appreciate the lighting, the cinematic lighting? Even in our live sessions, we are not going away from cinematic lighting, guys. Love it. All right, our story is up. I'll just remove the other story. It's not needed. All right. Why do you hit 6, 7? I think it's dumb. Very honestly, it was okay when it started out. Now it's being overused. It's dumb. Can you get a recorded version of this? No, there is no recorded version of this. There is no recorded version of this. This is the only thing you get. It's MI versus CSK tonight. I know, right? I realized too late after scheduling this. I realized like 3 days back. But by then, already a lot of people had already enrolled, so I did not want to postpone it or do any changes. Is the live just for niche selection or some tips as well to grow channel? I believe niche selection is the most important decision you can make to grow channel. So yeah, I'm also going to be talking about how, so basically all the different sorts of effect selecting a niche can have on your content creation journey, be it your audience, be it the brands you work with, be it the money you make, or be it the fame that you get out of this. Okay. Is there any challenge you guys are starting after the session end? Not exactly a challenge, but important, very exciting things are waiting for you somewhere in between this whole session. Okay. Please post it after live. No, this will not be posted. It is a live online workshop for a reason. It is only going to be available live. It is not going to be recorded and available later on. What if you are interested in multiple niche like Max 2? I'm gonna talk about all of that. All right, it is 9:06. I think we have all the people we wanted right here. Everyone wanted to join. People can join along the way. Get your notebooks out. Let's get started. If I don't come up in front of camera, will it be fine? Guys, if you have questions, let's save them for the end. I will do a 30 to 40 minutes of just Q&A at the end. I'll answer all of your doubts. So let's wait for that. I'll answer all of your doubts at the end of the session. The session will probably take me 61 minutes, and after that we'll do all of that things. Okay. Bhai, would you recommend Red Bull? I mean, yeah, what's wrong? There's a little bit of sugar, but if you can deal with that, it's good. It's essentially good caffeine, and anything too much is bad, if you, of course. All right. Are there any prerequisites? No, nothing. The only prerequisite I want is you having some kind of dedication, some kind of passion towards doing this. All right, let's get started. 3, 2, 1. We're going to start. Let's go. So you guys can see my screen over here. I hope everything is looking good. All right. So we are starting with the session of niche selection. Now, what is a niche? A niche basically is a box that can trap you in, a box that can also help you whenever you are making content. So a niche also exists outside of content as well. Maybe if you want to go and do engineering, right? If you want to go be a doctor, even in engineering, you will be a mechanical engineer, a computer science engineer. That is exactly what a niche is. Niche is just a specialization, right? Niche does sound like sometimes it can be portrayed in a negative light, but it is essentially specialization. Cool. So let's move on to the next part. So here is a very simple scenario. Okay, there are two creators we're going to be talking about. There is creator A, and then there is creator B, right? Creator A, and now this is something very common, but not many people talk about it. It might not be common to you guys, the consumers, but it is actually very common among the creators and the agencies and the brands. So creator A, on average, gets something like 1 million views. Is this visible, or should I use a thicker brush, like something like this? Okay, I think I'll use a thicker brush. It is much more visible. This person, so creator A gets somewhere around 1 million views every single month, right? Creator B, however, gets somewhere around 50k views per month. Who do you think makes more money? Out of here. None of them are selling anything, but who do you think makes more money? I'm waiting for the chat. Chat was a little bit delayed because there is some stream delay here. 1 million, 1 million, everyone's saying 1 million. See, that is what most people think. And that is probably the case if both of them shared the same niche and made very similar videos, then it would mostly be true. But there are very multiple, like a lot of cases where this guy will be making much more money than this guy is making. Right? This guy could be making 3 lakhs every month, where this guy is not even making 50,000 every month. What is the difference? The audience, someone is saying exactly right. The audience, yes. And what defines the audience? Because audience is something that we cannot control. What can we control? Our own videos and our niche. So that is the whole point of picking a really, really good niche, because it is the differentiator. This decision that you are going to take is going to decide whether you are going to become this creator or you are going to become this creator. Now imagine, like, if this guy can never get like 1 million views per month on his page, he will be making something like 15 lakhs, 20 lakhs. And you know creators are actually making that much amount of money every single month. There are creators, right? So that is why picking niche is very, very important. But the problem is, it is a very early decision that every content creator has to make in their career. Now, when you're starting out, even when I started out, I did not know much about niche and all of this. Whatever I'm teaching you right now, I did not know any of this, and most people would not know any of this. So the problem is, this is such a crucial decision, but people just take it without enough knowledge. So they take an uninformed decision and regret later, right? All right, let's move on to, so now we basically understand why niche is important. Now let's move on to the table of content. What are the things? Oh, you can't see me. Oh, you can't see this. I'll just move myself to the other side just for this particular slide. Why? So first things first, in case any of you do not know me, we're going to talk about who I am. Why am I talking about this and why you should listen to me if you care about any of this? Why bother choosing a niche, right? Like, why is it important? I already explained, but I'll add a few more points to it. What even is a persona? Like, niche is one thing, but not many people, I have almost never seen anyone talk about creator persona. And it is something deeply rooted into your perception into the audience's perception of you. And it plays a huge role behind how much money you can make, how well you are basically perceived in the creator community as well. Then I'll talk about different types of niches. How does the algorithm favor certain niches? This is something almost nobody talks about. Like, the algorithm, any algorithm actually likes certain types of niches. So I'll talk about that. How brands see niches, like what do brands look for? Like, how can you charge more from the brands, right? Then there is, why is YouTube income different for different niches? Some of you might already know this, but I'll still go through all of this. Like, how does AdSense, the YouTube AdSense money that we get as creators on YouTube, why is it different, right? Next, how can I choose the perfect niche? This is probably the most important thing. So once we have all of the understanding of the platform, of the algorithm, of the brands, of the marketing, and all of these things, we can finally take an informed decision of how do we choose our perfect niche. Then I'm going to talk about a very common trope that I see going around the internet. People saying, "Oh, you are the niche, guys. You don't have to pick a niche. You can become the niche." How true is that? How false is that? Can you do it? Can I do it? Or is it something viable? And or is it absolutely bullshit? We're going to talk about that. How to build a high value persona. We're going to start talking about persona. Once I describe what a persona is, you're going to understand. Then I'm going to spill some industry secrets. If you are a content creator and you want to make some money out of this, some industry secrets that you might want to keep in mind. Some little I wouldn't call them underhanded, but a few clever things that you can do. And at the end, we're going to talk about what next. So once you have your niche, how exactly do you start? What videos do you make? How exactly, what strategy do you follow? Which platform do you pick? Which software do you use to edit? How do you shoot? And all of that things we're going to talk about. But let's move on to the first thing. First things first, who am I? Right? So I am assuming almost everyone would know me here, but in case any of you don't, my name is Sanko. I was initially an engineering student. I have done my BTech from IIT Hyderabad. Then I went into an MNC doing an software engineering job. I quit my job because, oh, by the way, whenever I started college from 2019, I have been making videos on YouTube. Then I quit my job to go full-time. I wanted to become a full-time content creator. And if you are here, I believe a few of you also want to do the same. And then I felt like, okay, this is some really good skills and leverage that I have gathered over the years. I can manufacture more out of this. Then I opened a content business. I opened a content business exactly 13 months ago, and I'm very proud to say it has already done 8 figures in revenue. It is profitable, of course, and we are doing great work for brands, for our clients, right? This is what I do. And if I want to talk about numbers, I have 350k plus followers across social media. I have 45 million plus views. And see, these are the things that people really like to talk about. But what I really like to talk about is that I have made 500 plus videos in my life. Okay, I think that's a very big achievement, at least in my case. Okay, I see someone asking content business. Content business is, in my case, a digital marketing agency. We make ads, we make social media content, we run campaigns, we do performance marketing, organic marketing, and all of that for brands. And our clients range somewhere between 100 crores to 1000 crores. So these are our clients' numbers. So I'm just trying to show you that we are working with quite big clients, right? Now let's come back. Once I have boasted enough about myself, I hate this slide absolutely. It just feels like a lot of show off. But yeah, let's move on to something much more interesting and informative, right? So we're gonna move through these things quite quickly. Okay. So let's talk about picking a niche mindfully. Right? You do not just pick a niche just because you feel like it. You have to think about it. Okay. Picking a niche will help you reach the right audience that will value you, because a lot can be a problem. Because if you make a video, suppose you do not really like talking about football, but because the football World Cup is coming up, you made a video and it went viral. Now you suddenly have like 10,000 people following you for football. Getting the wrong audience can be a very big problem. Even if you went viral, it is not a good thing. Picking a right niche is also going to get to your audience faster. Oops. Faster. You are also going to grow faster, right? People are not a lot of the times people are not exactly growing as fast as they could because they are not picking the right niche or sticking to one niche. Okay. Then it will help you connect to brands who value you and pay you well. That's the perfect, like any creator's dream. And it will also help you connect to similar creators quite easily. Like if you can be fit inside one niche quite easily, other creators of that same niche are also going to get in connection, and you guys will essentially make a lot of good creator friends, and nothing better than creator friends, let me tell you. Picking a persona mindfully will let you charge higher for everything. Like for any little thing, any little thing you can charge higher if you have a better creator persona. Then you can also charge for exclusivity. Now brands will also actually care about, like, okay, I want this guy has such a good persona, such a good perception, and the people, his audience absolutely love him. I want him to only promote my product. And this guy should not promote any other product that is my competitor. And very often, you guys might not know this, very often a company would be willing to pay extra money for that exclusivity. That will not come if you are a low value creator or your perception is not very high value. And then it is also very helpful to build a cult-like following. A cult-like following is going to be very useful for getting brands, for building brand value, and if you ever want to become an entrepreneur, that is also going to be playing a great role. Will we get the PPT? No, you will not get anything. Everything is live, and that is why I told you, please take your notebooks out and take a pen and write things. What's persona? I'll explain. So in a very easy way to explain persona is, so there is this me, right? Me as a person, Sanko as a person exists. And now how I appear online is not exactly the same as how I appear to my parents. And that is not exactly the same of how I appear to my friends. So that is basically another way of saying that I have 3 different personas in 3 different situations. I hope that makes sense. That is exactly what a persona is. Persona does not mean my actual self, but persona means a little edited self of what I want people to perceive myself as. Like if I start talking about cricket in the internet, so my persona would be like a cricket fan, a huge cricket fan. Like if I talk a lot about cinematic lighting, talk a lot about color grading, the things that I generally do, people will understand that I am a filmmaking enthusiast. That is called a persona. There are particular terms that is, it is personality, but personality is something inherent, is what I feel. Like Sanko has a personality, but the Sanko that you have in your mind is a persona. It's something that is made up. It is something that is not entirely the truth, right? It is not the entire truth, because none of you know me personally very well. I would say, like, my parents don't know me enough completely. My friends don't know me completely. You guys don't know me completely. So none of you know my entire personality. So whatever I choose to show you is the persona that you have in your head. And that can be programmed as well, because we're in the show business, guys. Let's be honest, we're in the show business. Cool. That is the persona. And because it is completely based on the content pieces that we put on the internet, we can essentially control what persona we are getting perceived as. Please create a WhatsApp group if you can. No, there is no WhatsApp group here, but we have a Discord server. We actually have a Discord server where we host all of you people. We're planning a lot more things, right? There is a free Discord server that you guys can join. There's a few events happening, masterclasses happening over there, few challenges happening. And then also there are, I'm going to tell you more, okay? All right. Now let's move on to types of niches. Okay. Now let's move on to types of niches. So before we go on to making a decision before making a decision, we should do utmost research that we can. And I'm going to be giving you the 80% of the research value that you could get. Okay. I'm going to tell you almost everything. So in the chat, you can find the Discord server link. Krishna has shared it, and you guys can join. It is already an active Discord server, and we have, I think, more than multiple thousand people over there. So yeah. So let's talk about types of niches, and we're going to talk about like what they are, what is good about them, and what is bad about them. Pros and cons. Everything has a pros and cons, guys. So the first one is a strict niche, and the second one is a loose niche. So strict niche basically means like you basically stick to a very narrow niche. Like if I talk about Indian cricket, I talk about Indian cricket. If I talk about under 19 table tennis, I talk about just that. If I just talk about Hollywood movies, I talk about just Hollywood movies. That is a strict niche. A looser niche could be fitness. You can talk about running, you can talk about diet, you can talk about nutrition, you can talk about recovery, you can talk about gym, you can talk about mental wellness and all of these things. That's a quite loose and broad niche. A loose niche can be movies. You talk about Hollywood, Bollywood, acting, Oscars, and all this drama and masala that goes on, right? We can mix our interest in two different niches. Yes, exactly. But you cannot like mix two entirely different niches very easily. Like if you like cricket and cooking, you cannot really mix them. But if you like cricket and football, okay, doable. If you like Valorant, and if you like maybe something like 3D design or game development, that can be merged together very simply, right? So that's a loose niche. And then the other one is a strict niche. Now, there are good things about a strict niche. There are bad things about a strict niche as well. Good things about a strict niche is that it is going to give you faster growth. It is also going to give you faster upskill. It will be easier to monetize, and it is also going to be easier to research. Right? And exactly the opposite of this, right? Like slow, hard, and hard. Same things. See, if one in student life could make sense, if in your school life you are probably building a car, right? A lot of colleges have this machinery club who makes like cars and stuff. And they race them. So if you are working in one of those, makes sense, sure. So why would all of these things happen, right? Why would all of these things happen? I will actually, this looks a little weird. I'll bring myself back over here. Oh, now you can't see anything. I'll keep myself here. No worries. So niche, if you stick to a narrower niche, so basically what the algorithm does, it basically tries to fit you into one of the boxes, and it already knows like this is the cricket box and there are 5 creators inside of this. Like I'll just do it like this. This is like a cricket box and there are 5 creators inside of this. This is a football box and my bad. This is a football box and there are 3 creators in this. Now, if you come over here and start, right? If you start making videos about both cricket and football, that's a loose niche. The algorithm has a hard time putting you in one of those boxes, right? Shorten your video slightly. What? Which? Oh, you mean shorten like this? Yeah, that I can do. It's fine. Huh. So why is the algorithm trying to do this? Because the algorithm already has the user data. Like it knows these 200 people love to watch football videos. There are like 500 more people who love to watch cricket videos. Now, if it could fit you very easily into one of these boxes, you could have gotten access to this 500 people or 200 people very directly. But if you are dodging, if you're like jumping between these two boxes, it is very hard for the algorithm to fit you in one of the boxes, and you do not get full and direct and easy access to either those 200 people or these 500 people. So your growth is much slower on a loose niche. Faster upskill, again, if you only make videos in one format, in a similar topic and a similar niche, you will get better at making that kind of videos. Like if you just do podcast, you will get better at doing podcasts. If you just do reaction videos, if you just do vlogs, you're going to get better at making vlogs. Now, suddenly if you want to do an educational video, okay, it's a problem, right? So in a loose niche, if you make like 50 videos, maybe 20 of them are vlogs, maybe 10 of them are educational, maybe 20 of them are reactions, right? Whereas here, if you make 50 videos, probably 40 to 45 of them are, suppose, educational videos, and 5 of them are vlogs, because you are sticking to a quite strict niche. No matter what, you are going to become better at making educational videos over here because you have done more iterations of it. Cool? I hope that makes sense. And now let's talk about the cons of it, right? In the strict niche, there is of course very obvious no wiggle room. You cannot really do anything else, okay? If you are sticking to a strict niche, maybe once in a while you can put up a vlog or something else. But generally, even if you are following a strict niche and you put up a vlog, all of a sudden it is not going to get views because your audience is not following you for vlogs, right? If they're following you for educational videos, they're not going to watch that. Next is something I call the trenches. The trenches is basically because if you do fit yourself very well into a box, right? You fit perfectly into a box. If unfortunately in somewhere in the future, a year down the line, that box just loses interest. Like people lose interest. For example, like arbitrarily, for the argument's sake, imagine people lose interest in cricket, and you spend all of your time building this cricket brand. Now you're suddenly lost. You die with the niche. You die. It's almost the same like following a trend, following every single trend, right? Because if you rise with the trend, you die with the trend. That is something that will happen. So that is why if you want to pick a strict niche, you should always pick something fundamental, not something like fidget spinners, not something like something that is very volatile or something that could die out in the next 10 years, right? Cricket, football, these things won't die out in the next 10 years. And in the loose niche, the cons, essentially these were the cons of the loose niche. I will just write the pros, is that this is a personal brand. Because if you make videos about 5 different things, ideally not 5 different things, maybe 3 different things, a part of your audience is going to start coming back just for you, right? And they're gonna start valuing you more than what you're talking about. So that is what a personal brand builds. And then this is a little bit of ego boost, that you matter as a person. They will just not be coming to see, what is about cricket and what is all these things. They will start caring about you. You put up a vlog and they'll watch. That's a good feeling, right? Next, let's talk about algorithm versus niche. So I already painted the picture that there are multiple boxes, right? There are multiple boxes. This can be cricket, this can be football, this can be cooking, this can be college, or something like this, okay? There are multiple boxes and the algorithm has all this data. And to every box, it has like probably 1,000 people. In real life, this is not 1,000, this is like multiple millions of people attached to every single box. But the attachment varies. But for a very simple understanding, I would explain this in a simpler way, in a dumbed down way, right? So if you start over here, now initially what used to happen is the algorithm was not as good because the algorithms were made back in 2016, 2010. Instagram, I think, was launched in 2014 or 13, somewhere around that. So these algorithms initially, before the rise of AI, they used to focus heavily on using the data and treating them normally as data without training an AI, without trying to find more sense out of that using AI, because AI did not exist back then. The AI as we know it, like LLMs and all, large language models and large models as a whole, did not exist back then. So pehle it was much more important what words you put in the title of the video, what words you put in the description, all these things were very, very important, because the algorithm could never understand what the video was about. The only way it could understand was reading the title, the description, the video tags, all of these things it had to understand to find out, okay, what this video is about. But now AI is so good, it can literally make a transcript of your video and try to, because there's a fucking text of your script, and it can understand. It can even look at the frames of your video and understand what you are talking about, what are you showing on screen, all of these things, right? So the old algorithm is dead. There's this new algorithm, and the new algorithm focuses more on niched down people, because as I already explained, if you can be fit easily in a box, you can easily get access to these people. And if you're starting out, I would often say, if you're serious about this, pick a niche, start talking about it, and you can always pivot later. Okay, once you understand the game, because for the first 5 to 6 months, it's just about understanding the game. Once you understand the game, you can always change things later, but pick a niche and start off. Cool. Right. Then we're going to talk about brands versus niche. How does brands look at niches? Does Instagram Reels description hashtags work? No. For discovery, no. If someone is particularly searching, sure. But none of the hashtags or even the tags in YouTube, they don't work anymore. Okay, you will see even big YouTubers like Mr. Beast or PewDiePie, they would upload things without any video tags. So it doesn't really matter, because AI has gotten good enough to understand what your video is about, and basically it can put you in a box without you telling it what the video is about. Is niche different in different platforms, because the views I get on YT are more compared to Instagram, or should I stick to just one platform? If you're starting out, one platform is good enough, but I will also explain what different platforms hold. Like on YouTube is not the same platform as Instagram. I say Instagram is like a party, right? You go to a party, there are lots of people, you randomly keep meeting people, and in the first 10-15 seconds you decide, okay, is the conversation getting awkward, is the conversation interesting, do you find the person interesting, do you want to keep talking more? If you don't like it, you pass the person, meet someone else, pass the person, meet someone else. That's like a party. But YouTube is like a library. There are books, you can look at the covers of those books, like we look at thumbnails, and you can choose one, like, okay, I want to choose this. And generally, because YouTube has long form videos, the connection that we build with the audience is much more. If you watch a full YouTube video that is like 10 minutes long, it is equivalent to watching 10 reels, or like 8 to 10 reels. So just getting one view on YouTube is actually much more valuable than getting one view on Instagram. That is why brands also pay you more for getting the same amount of views on YouTube compared to getting the same amount of views on Instagram. Instagram is comparatively much easier, both in terms of getting views, also in terms of video production, because it's a smaller video, it takes lesser time, right? And also because if you ever want to sell anything, if you ever want to promote anything from some other brand as well, that is absolutely fine. If you want to promote anything, the trust that you build with your audience is very, very important. Like your audience should trust you, right? That is only when a promotion makes sense. And that trust is only deeply built through long form content. Even if I watch 5 reels of someone, I don't feel connected to that person. But if I watch 5 videos, that's like spending an hour with a person. That's way more. All right. Now let's look at brands versus niche. So let's first try to understand. So whenever you are stuck at any of this dilemma, right? How exactly does this work? Does that work? You should first think about how the base of it work. Like what is the first principle working over here? So imagine you are a brand, right? You are the CEO of the brand. This is your brand. And now here is your audience. Oops. Here is your audience, right? Your audience members are scattered over here. Lot of people, right? Now these guys are using social media, crazy. Now, as a brand, how do you reach them? The first thing can be, okay, we can make our own videos, organic content, and hope we make our videos so good that they reach our perfect audience. Great. But it is very hard and very time consuming, because to grow a brand page is actually much harder. And if you to grow a brand page big enough so that enough people see it, too much hassle. You're going to have to hire people in-house. This will have a lot of things, like you will have to hire people, hire at least like one videographer, one editor, one content writer, one social media executive. You'll have to hire like 4 people ka team. You'll have to pay them salaries. Now again, remember, you're a brand CEO. Now you have to do all of these things and probably run them for like 5 to 6 months to finally see, oh, the page did not grow, or that's the worst case scenario. So there's a lot of expenditure, there's a lot of time involved, and there's a lot of money involved that you're spending, right? What can be a better way? You see that there is this creator, right? There is this creator who is making, suppose you are a brand that sells tennis rackets, for example. Tennis rackets, you understand? And this is your audience who watch tennis, who play tennis. Now there is this creator who makes tennis tutorials, right? Now, suddenly see what you can do. Instead of spending all this money over here, you can spend like 10 to 20% of that money, give it to this creator, give him your racket, and this creator who already has access to all this audience, he can just show that tennis racket of yours in his video, and all this audience suddenly through the creator is coming to your brand. Right? I hope that makes sense. And that is why influencer marketing exists. That is why brands, instead of spending time, money, and a lot of headache, they just find good creators and they pay them to promote their own product to their particular exact audience. So for the brand to pick you, you can understand from this particular level that if you are the brand, if you are the CEO, you would want a creator who has a very dedicated audience, who has a strict niche, and who has authority, like audience actually trusts him. And that is why all of the things that I have explained before make sense. Right? Because brand collabs for a creator that does not own any business, brand collabs is generally like 80 to 90% of their creator income. It is for all creators. Okay, so that is something that you really need to understand and really need to optimize for. Cool? We understand how it works. You should become a part-time educator. I've tried that before. I might, I don't know. Right? Okay. We understand how brands work with niches. Cool. Can you tell how to communicate well? By communicating more, by reading good articles, by reading good books, by watching good movies, good YouTube videos instead of scrolling reels. Is just a exposure and experience thing. All right, guys. Please save all of your questions for the end of the session. We will take all of your questions. Okay, we'll stay here till 11 p.m. If I need to, I'll take all of your questions. Cool. Brands versus niche. We have that. Great. Now let's talk about AdSense versus niche. And see, you remember this thing we talked about, like why is YouTube income different for different niches? This is exactly what you're going to talk about. AdSense versus niche. Right over here. 1 second. Cool. Let's go. So, how much money you make from AdSense. Okay, so let's first understand, for someone who doesn't know what AdSense is, I'll explain. So this is YouTube. YouTube has a lot of videos, and this is a creator. Creator puts his videos on YouTube, and they are watched by an audience. Right? Makes sense. Now again, imagine you are a brand and you want to basically promote your product. Suppose tennis rackets again. Tennis rackets. What do you do? Again, the same problem. You cannot really get to that audience. Now, in the last option, your brand, as your brand manager or whatever, you had to still put in some work to find a good creator. To find a good creator, right? That is still some work. This work can be done in two different ways. One, you hire an agency in between. These guys are called influencer marketing agencies. They basically have a list, a whole database of creators and who speak what. If you want like tutorial creators, they have a whole roster of creators, and brands just come to them, be like, okay, take 10 lakh rupees, find me 10 creators and get me this many views. Okay. So they do all this hard work of finding creators and negotiating with them, blocking deals, getting the videos approved, all these things. There's another way through a already existing platform which runs on an algorithm. Because see, what influencer marketing agencies have is data. Like, okay, this creator has this type of people, this creator has this type of people, but who has most data of all? Who has most amount of user data? It's Google, it's YouTube, because they know what kind of videos you watch. They know exactly who are the people who watch tennis tutorial videos. More than any influencer agency, YouTube knows the best because they have all of your data, right? That is why you can give it to the YouTube algorithm, the other ads algorithm. You can pay that money to YouTube and you can give your ad to YouTube. So it will find all the tennis videos it can find, and put your ad in the tennis videos, and the audience will end up watching those ads. Now, the container of those ads, however, is a video created by this creator, right? This guy. So as a very generous company, YouTube, so suppose this brand pays, for example, $10 to YouTube to run this ad. And this particular ad shows up on this creator's video, only this creator's video. Again, for example, only this creator's video and whatever, and people watch it. YouTube actually gives the creator 50% of that ad revenue and we call it AdSense. AdSense is just the platform name that YouTube and Google use for all of these ad related revenues. So, and this percentage, 50% is also the highest across all social media that pays to creators. So YouTube is a really good platform to be a creator if you want to run from AdSense. Okay. Now, how do we decide exactly how much money we make? So is it like fixed? Like, is it like if I get 1,000 views, I make $1? Is it that simple? No. There are videos, like I have two videos. I'll give you some example. Like both of them had around 100k views. Okay. This video has made me $14, while this video has made me $142. How do you explain that? It's on the same channel. Still this much of a difference. How do you explain that? That is because something called, some people already are saying something called CPM, or you can also talk about RPM. Right? CPM, let's not talk about CPM actually, it's a little bit misleading. So RPM is basically revenue per mil. Okay, mil just means 1,000 in some other language. It's some Spanish or something else. Okay, so higher the RPM. So basically, if a video pays me $1 for 1,000 views, the RPM of that video is $1, right? Whatever it is paying me for 1,000 views, that is called RPM. So some niches, generally, some topics also have higher RPM. If you talk about coding, you have a high RPM. If you talk about finance, you have a high RPM. If you talk about tech products, you have a high RPM. If you talk about cooking, you generally have a lower RPM. If you talk about something like vlogs, you have a lower RPM. If you will talk about lifestyle, you have a lower RPM. If you talk about education, you have a high RPM. If you talk about something like cricket, you have a lower RPM. Why? But very good question. Like why this discrimination? I like cooking. I like talking about my cricket and lifestyle. Why? This will make sense because you have to understand all of the AdSense money is essentially coming from advertisers, right? These brands are paying for this, right? So let's make some space over here and I can explain a little more. Fuck. All right. So if you look about all of this coding, finance, tech, education, they have high ticket price. So if you're watching a coding video and a brand puts a ad of their coding course, right? Or maybe a coding curriculum, that generally is priced much higher than a cookbook or a recipe book, right? Finance, some people will be telling finance courses. People who are looking at finance courses, people who are looking at something like real estate, they generally have a higher spending capacity and higher spending tendency. Because if I'm looking at real estate videos, in my mind, I am really looking for some real estate to buy or sell. That means I have money to spend. No discrimination here. This is just the ground reality. People who are looking at tech, people who are looking at maybe smartphones to buy, have some money to spend. But people who are looking at vlogs, people who just watch vlogs on YouTube, even if they have money, I'm not talking about how much money they have, even if they have money, they are not looking to spend right now. People who are looking at lifestyle, they're not looking to spend right now. If you watch cricket videos, you're not looking to spend any money at any of that, right? So that is why it makes sense. And a cooking company is generally much smaller than a real estate company. They have more money to spend on advertising. And if a particular ad gets one, what is called a ticket size, because if one real estate ad gets one customer from your video, from that ad, okay, one customer. Or if it gets like a student in a virtual college gets one customer, they would probably pay like 10 lakhs or something like 1 crore. So this company does not mind paying like 1 lakh rupees in running the ad. But on the other side, on this side, this cookbook is probably worth like 1,000 rupees, right? So this company would not want to spend like more than 200 rupees to get that customer. That is why this on the left side, companies are paying a lot more to run their ads. That is why there is more AdSense. Just a query, are high RPM niches more difficult for beginners to crack? Not inherently, but of course there is more competition there. So yeah, that is there. There is more competition, but if you have some kind of subject expert capability, if you have something that is going for you, should not be very hard compared to the other things. So coding and student life would go together? Absolutely. Many people say UGC is a good way. Should we consider? UGC is good. UGC is really good. But to do good UGC, you first have to get good on camera. There's a lot more things to do it. Which language should we go with? Hindi or English? We are going to talk about that. All of those things, there is later. We're going to talk about that. Okay, now let's finally talk about the perfect niche, right? What should you pick? What should you make videos about? We are already like 50 minutes, 45 minutes, I would say, into the session and going at a good pace. So to pick your perfect niche, I'm going to draw something that I call the creator ikigai. Right? You might be familiar with the concept of ikigai. So to pick एक और can ले आओ. No. I still have a little less than half. Should be fine. Okay. We're gonna draw a few circles. The first circle is all about what you're good at. This is your unfair advantage. Okay, these are the things that other people cannot easily replicate. You can see, like, and it can be anything. It does not have to be a skill. It can be a geolocation as well. It can be a profession as well, right? There are not many great vloggers in the medical colleges of India. So if you are a medical college student, if you are studying medical, you already have an unfair advantage that no other engineering student or any other student can copy. So these are the things that you need to understand, need to figure out what is something unique about you. Is there a particular skill that your friends always come to you for a particular thing, like maybe designing a poster, maybe making some kind of a video edit or anything, right? So that is something you need to figure out, what is your unfair advantage, and this is something you have to leverage on, because this is the only thing that other people cannot copy, right? Copy or क्या बोलते हैं उसको? Fuck it. Copy. Second circle is, I'm trying to do a bad circle, is what you love, aka interest. What are the things that you are interested in? And you see, the first thing, what are you good at, what are your unfair advantage? It can be literally anything. If you're, suppose from, if you live in the mountains, that can be your unfair advantage. There is this Bangalore cook who is getting quite viral on Instagram, and she, I think her name is Raji, and she cooks for Bangalore engineers, like new age Gen Z engineers. And that is her advantage. Nobody in her industry is making videos. That is her advantage. Next is what you love. What are the things that you love talking about? So see, content creation, if you still have the misconception, it is not easy. Okay? It is absolutely not easy. I have slept a total of 2.5 hours in the last 48 hours. This is the life I'm living. But I also do have more freedom. Like if I want like a day off next week, I can take it. But sometimes it does get hard, and it is not at all easy. Will legal and finance go together? Absolutely. They're like literally very closely bonded. So as I was saying, content creation is not an easy thing. Content creation is not a fast thing. It is a fucking marathon, and you cannot sprint a marathon. You cannot be like, okay, 11 kilometers or 10 kilometers, I'll just fucking run at full speed. You're going to die after the third kilometer or something. You won't even get to third kilometer. That's the thing. Okay. So you need to pick something what you love, something that you will like talking about. If you do not like what you're talking about, things will get hard, because for the first 6 to 8 months, you will probably not see much of results. At least for the first 2-3 months, you will not see much of results unless you do really well, right? Probably with my guidance, you can get results in like a month. But even that month, the first 20-30 videos, you're not going to see shit. And if you don't like talking about what you're talking about, you're gonna get out. You're gonna quit. You're gonna quit very soon. So whatever portion, intersection we have here is not your ideal niche. It is your ideal career. This is, if you take a job, this is what you should be working on. Something that you are good at and something that you like doing, right? This is your ideal career. Now let's get rid of that. We are going to draw another circle right over here. Quite a bad circle. Crazy. Now, because we're in the show business, we also have to factor in what people watch. If I start making videos about, I don't know, something that people don't watch at all, then there's no point. Even if it is my unfair advantage, even if I love doing it, if people do not watch, it does not make sense for me to make videos. Again, we are talking strictly about becoming a content creator to make money out of this, to hopefully get financial freedom. I'm not talking about being a creator who just creates for fun. That you can do for whatever you want. Okay? If I just want to make videos about my life without worrying about whether people are watching or not, great. No, nothing wrong with that. But we are talking about more of a business perspective over here. So we have to factor in what people watch. So you should literally write down things, like write 7 different things here, write 7 different things here. You should talk to your close ones, your loved ones, and ask them like, okay, what do you think I'm good at? What do you think I am above average at? And you write down these things. You find how you can mix and match them, and you will eventually find like 2 to 3 things which lie here. And at the worst case, maybe one thing that lies there. That's great. And that, my friend, over here is your perfect niche. If I want to take it one level further, like if you ever want to start a content business or a creator business out of this, you want to leverage the audience that you have built into building a business and getting out of that brand revenue cycle, then there is something even more interesting. Contrary to popular beliefs, I will draw another circle, another bad circle. And this one is understanding what you can sell. So probably here something is cricket. Cricket is a very interesting niche because it can be something you have unfair advantage on. Like you might have played cricket as a kid, like professionally, a little bit. You have went to a few training camps. It might be something you love as well. Like I love cricket. I love watching cricket. It can be something that people also watch. India loves cricket. Absolutely. But even if you have like a 1 million follower account that talks about cricket, people are actively watching your videos, I'm not sure what you can sell. You cannot really sell anything high ticket to a cricket enjoyer, because if I'm watching a cricket video, cricket analysis or any type of video, I'm not in that headspace of spending money, right? So if you want to play this game long term, you should also think about what you can sell. You can also, if you cannot get ideas, what you can do is you can find other creators who are in the similar niche and see what they're selling. Like bigger creators, anyone who is above 500K, 1 million on any platform, they would ideally be doing some kind of business, some kind of creator business. Because step 1 of a creator is just making videos. They get money from AdSense. Step 2, like it's not like step, it's more like level. Level 1, then there is level 2 is when they start getting brands. Then there is level 3. There's level 2.5 as well when they start doing affiliate, which is a very small chunk of income for most people. And level 3 when they sell their own products or their own business. I like these words. Business. Maybe make a cricket kit brand. I mean, you definitely can, but do you even know how to source all of that? It is not something very easy to build just with your creator experience, right? It is not very easy to build just with your creator experience. If you go for an offline product business or an offline even service business, it is a little bit harder because you need, like, you don't have any of that business knowledge. Probably you should ideally start off with an online business because you understand the online space. You probably should start off with something that is also lying in your niche. Make sense? Like if you're a cricket coach, you could sell online coaching services. If you're a fitness coach, you could sell online coaching services again. Right, but if you are a fitness coach and you are like, okay, मैं तो gym खोलेगा, I'll open a gym and start selling subscriptions, there's a high chance you will fail because you do not have enough experience running a physical gym. You are a great trainer, you understand physique, you understand diet and all of those. Maybe that is not your expertise right now, right? That is why you will see a lot of creators will always find another business guy to run the operations. And the creator guy will basically just be running the marketing and be the face of the company. You will see like very popular example would be Ranveer Alavadia. Beer Biceps. He has Viraj to run his agency and handle the back end of things while he is the front end. Right? You will see this everywhere, every single where. All right. So here we have the how do you choose the perfect niche? I would want to ask you, how many of you guys are serious about starting content creation? Like, I really want to know. Oh, where did my YouTube go? No, 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 Jayant. No, no. Would you rather here? Like, I would assume that if you're watching this video, of the whole 225 people who are watching this video, you want to become a content creator, right? And if you like the way I'm explaining things, if you think that this can be like honestly like a unfair advantage, all this information, all this backdoor data, all of this, how people think, how brands work, how AdSense work, how algorithms work, and all of these things, this is just a small part of it, okay? This, my friend, is just the beginning, as you can see. So what I have created is basically a creator blueprint that you can start off and get all my 7+ years of knowledge, my skills, my expertise, all of these things you can get at one place. Let's take a look at what all is in the package. Okay, these are everything. So there are total of 17 and more, a few more demo classes, but we're gonna majorly talk about these topics, and I spent quite some time over everything. So we go here. There is the creator mindset. The first thing that you need to understand, what should be your mindset to become a successful creator? What is ghost town? Niche selection and persona. This is something we have covered in much more detail inside there, but I'm covering majority, like 90% of it right over here. Then there is the gear situation. That is the most common problem of all content creators, that whenever you're starting out, should I buy a camera? Should I buy a mic? Is my phone good enough? Should I invest in a new laptop? What gear do you buy? Next, then there is packaging. How do you make titles and thumbnails? Because those are the most important things on YouTube. Because no matter how good your video is, if people don't click, people don't watch. Told as popularly by Mr. Beast, the biggest YouTuber on the internet. Next, I talk about scripting for retention, both long form and short form. How do you script videos effectively, right? How do you exactly do it? Then there is storytelling. I believe this is one of my forte. I believe I am above average in storytelling. People who have been watching me would probably agree with me. But how do you exactly tell stories effectively every time, right? You cannot bring up the story from scratch every time. There are particular templates, there are particular structures that I always start off with whenever I'm writing a story or a script. That is all I teach over here, from beginner to quite advanced things that I personally use on my YouTube videos. Then there is a little bit of the craft. You do not need to be a great editor, a greatly skilled editor for starting your content creation. Uske liye video editors alag job hai. But I'm gonna teach you the very basics of short form and long form editing, the concepts of it. So you can basically do it in anything, anywhere you want. Editing is honestly not as important as the storytelling of the video, the packaging of the video, and the idea, the research. Editing probably comes at 4 or number 5. I also talk about how to record great audio and how to edit audio to sound even better. I talk about basics of shooting. How can you do this? Even if you don't have a camera, how can you make the most of your phone camera? If you just use a phone, how can you make your videos look cinematic? How can you make your videos look more polished? If you have a light, how do you use it? If you have multiple lights, how do you use it? If you do not have a light, how do you use the sunlight to look as cinematic as possible? We talk about, now that is sort of the first part of it. The second part of it gets more advanced, more interesting, because we talk about the engine of growth. I talk about platform specific strategies. What are the strategies you have to use on YouTube to grow, on Instagram to grow? I also talk about how do you stay consistent, because without consistency, it is very hard. It is a very hard game. A very hard game. Content creation is almost never going to work out without consistency. So how do you stay consistent? Consider you are a student or you have a job. You cannot give all of your time into this. How do you make the most of your time and stay consistent? We also talk about understanding data, because this is something that I feel as an engineer, I have an edge over other people, other content creators, because I'm an engineer first and then a creator. I can look at data. Most people think the algorithm is just a black box. Okay, I upload some video and pray to God that it will go viral. It does not work like that. Nobody knows what the algorithm exactly does, but we can make our speculations looking at data, finding patterns, reverse engineering things, because I am by trade an engineer. I can reverse engineer virality by looking at data, by finding patterns. I'm going to tell you what data to track. I'm going to tell you how to track it. I'm going to also tell you exactly which data you can find where, what are the different apps you can use, what are the different extensions you can use, how, and I'll also show you how I track data, how I will literally open my own data tracker where I store all of my data, my database of all of these analytics, and I will live find you patterns and find you examples of how I can see, okay, how I will know that if I make a video about this, I will get more views. If I make a video about this, I'll get more followers. If I make a video about this, I'll get more likes. These things can be reverse engineered and pattern matched. Most people don't talk about this. People treat the algorithm just like this. It's some fugazi, you know? Matthew McConaughey, fugazi. Then I also talk about the most important part, to be very honest. If you want to sustain doing this, if you are making videos, I want you to make money out of this. Come on, guys. If you want to make videos, I want you to make money out of this. There are different ways to earn as a creator. I'm going to talk about all of that. I talked about a few of them in the slide over here, but I'm going to talk about the intricacies of all of them, how each of them exactly work, and when you should start doing all of those things. And I will also give you a monetization roadmap so that you can make good money and also make money quick, so that you don't have to wait like a year like I waited. I think I waited almost 9 months before I could finally monetize my channel, right? Then there is also personal branding, the most important thing probably, like if you want to go anywhere with content. I talk about the importance of content buckets. What are the content buckets? So content buckets, if you have multiple interests, right, but you cannot really branch out into different niches, content buckets is the next best thing. Okay. I talk about camera confidence. If you go back like 6 or 7 years back to my YouTube channel, you will see that this guy was really shit at camera. If you see my first 10 videos, I did not even show my face. I never used to talk to camera. It was just all voiceover because I was shy. And now I'm doing this in front of you, looking to a camera, talking to thousands of people on the internet every month, or millions of people on the internet every month. That is something called camera confidence. And it has nothing to do with whether you are an introvert or you are an extrovert. So yeah, I am a professional introvert, but I can still do this because I understand how to look confident on camera and how to communicate. Then I also give you the beginner playbook, and this is probably the most valuable thing. Most people do not know what exactly they need to do. Okay, most people do not know what exactly they need to do and what are the strategy that they should follow. The beginner playbook basically outlines, if you have zero skills, zero experience, zero gear, right? You just have your phone, exactly how. I will give you a foolproof technique, and that has worked for multiple people. If once you see that technique, once you see the roadmap, you will understand, you will exactly know which people have done this and they have succeeded very, very quickly on the social media. So that is what the beginner playbook looks like. And this all is a part of this new creator blueprint that we are launching. I have been working on this for the last 5 to 6 months at least. And this is where it's at. I will just give you the link in the description. Give me one moment. This is not it. It should be showing up in the description now. You guys can go and check it out, but we still have a few other things here remaining. Wait, if you want a very special thing for this, if you want an extra discount, if you want a special discount, especially for you guys, just stick around. Now let's talk about what we called as I am the niche. A lot of people are going to talk about, okay, you don't need to pick a niche. If you talk about 4 different things, you just become the niche. People come here for you. But then there is a problem. There is a very big problem. Not all of us, like people like me, are not inherently interesting, not inherently funny, not inherently very good looking. That if I just talk about something, because initially, whenever we are starting out, whenever anyone is starting out, they're not good at camera, they're not good at speaking, they're not good at scripting, they're not good at editing. So if I just be myself and I'm bad, my video is just bad. I'm talking about something, I'm talking about 10 different things at once, and I'm just bad. My videos are bad. No, you're not gonna watch. You're not gonna like me unless I'm very pretty or I'm very like funny or I'm very entertaining. You're not gonna like me. So initially, unless you're very pretty, very funny, or very entertaining by nature, you should ideally start off with a niche and stop falling for this bullshit that is called I am the niche. But if you're funny and all of those things, you can do that. Once you are good at something, once you are good at the skill, once you're good at talking to the camera, good at scripting, then you can start doing all of these things. Like I have done. I started with education. I started with college vlogs. That's the only thing I wanted to do. Then after 1 or 2 years of making videos, I understood editing. I understood all of these things. I understood content. Then I started branching out. I started talking about making money. I started talking about my own goals. I started talking about my life experiences. I started talking about how my friends, my college trips, and all of these things, and people watched. Because by that time, people have connected with me. People started coming back to the videos because, okay, this guy edits good video. This guy tells good stories. And that is something that took time to make, right? All right. Now let's talk about the high value persona. I believe we have mostly talked about this. This is not something entirely new that I need to talk about, but the high value persona is just something what your perception is. So if you want to, suppose you want to impress a guy or a girl, right? This is exactly what it is. To impress brands, this is the same thing, same shit. If you have a crush on someone, you want to impress a guy or a girl, what will you do? You will take care of your skin. You will make your hair, right? You will dress better. Like I'm wearing my lucky jacket today, right? I could be sitting in my normal t-shirt, but I'm wearing my lucky jacket today. So these are the things that adds to my persona. Make sense? Very simple. Also, the things that I talk about, the vocabulary that I use, if I use words like leverage, if I use words like, I don't know, I'm not that guy, but if I use very complicated, high value, high taste words, my perception also gets that. And it is not just about the persona. It is not like, okay, persona, you are making it higher or better. So the same people are looking at you better. It's not that. If you have a higher persona, like quote unquote higher persona, people with higher taste and higher spending capacity and higher class are following you. And this audience is much more valuable to any brand than the audience that lies over here. So if you can grab this audience, you don't need to get 1 million views. Even if you get 10,000 views, the brands value this high quality 10,000 views instead of getting like a 1 million views of people who cannot really, who don't really want to spend. Right? That makes sense. That is why you will see India, like I was talking about AdSense, right? I'll just talk about it here. Even in AdSense, the RPM also varies across countries. If I get 1,000 views for a particular niche, let's say for any particular niche, in India, I will get somewhere around $0.8. If I get that same amount of views in US, I will get somewhere around $9. If I do it in Australia, I'll get somewhere around $7. If I do in UAE, I'll get somewhere around something similar, like $6 to $8. If I do it in somewhere like Africa, it will be low, $0.5, something like that. So it is just a spending capacity parity, right? People in US are generally willing to spend more on something than compared to India, or their spending capacity or spending intent. That is how all of these things differ. So getting a high value, even if it's smaller, getting a high value collection of audience, great. Know your persona is something that you show yourself in front of different people. Yes, exactly. Oh, okay, someone asked a question. Good. We understand persona now. That is exactly why every year I would go out shopping. I absolutely hate shopping. I do not like to shop at all. Okay, I like ordering things online, but because I need to keep myself in a certain way. I generally don't think as much about what I wear, but on occasions I should. Like even my agency is literally telling me, ki, bro, please wear better clothes. Please wear more, be more presentable. So that is why I am going to be going to shopping sometime next week. And yes, do not target children as they cannot spend. That is a good thing, but not always. Because if I target children by selling them something educational, then even if I can just make the children interested in my educational product, their parents would pay, right? Even though I'm targeting the children for buying my product, their parents who have the money will pay. And that is why you will generally see English speaking creators getting more, because in general, people who can speak English, at least in a country like India, people who can speak English generally are higher educated compared to other people, and they have a higher spending capacity compared to other people. Again, I'm not trying to be classist, racist or anything over here, but that is just the reality of how brands look at it. Okay, now let's talk about a few industry secrets to keep in mind. This is where, for when you actually start content creation, a few things that you can do to probably make a little more money, get a few more brand deals, and get a few more views probably. First thing is the manager paradox. So imagine whenever a brand calls me, like, okay, Sanko, we are looking for Instagram collaboration with you. Consider two scenarios. I pick up the call and I'm like, yeah, we can do that. This, all these things. Compared to someone else picks up and, hello, this is Sanko's manager speaking. Yeah, what do you want? Yeah, I can check with Sanko and get back to you. This says what the new kids call aura, right? The more aura you have, the better perception or persona you have, the more you can charge. So, of course, when you're starting out, you do not have money to hire a manager, right? I personally have a manager right now, but when I started, I did not. So what I used to do is I used to pretend like my own manager. I used to pick up the call and be like, okay, this is hello, this is Sanko's manager. What do you want? What do you want? So that just adds a level of operations, because it's like, okay, this is not a solo creator. This guy has a team. Like, even if I'm a solo creator, I am handling my own things. I am editing my own videos. The brand calls like, Sanko, the draft is very late. The video has to go out today. I'll be like, oh, is it? Did my manager did not send the draft? Okay, do not worry. I will put this on high priority and I'll check with my, editing team. Yeah. It should have been done yesterday. I'll check with my editing team. I am the editing team, guys. I am the manager. I can still talk about all of these things. Krishna is the manager. No, Krishna is not the manager. But yeah. Then there is the language situation. As I talked about, English generally pays you more, because I already explained, than probably Hindi, than probably any other regional language. But if you also have to understand, like, if your content is just catering for South Indian audience, you can of course talk in some South Indian language like Kannada, Telugu, Tamil, whatever it makes sense. So basically, whatever audience you're looking for, you're going to get brands like that, because there exist brands who are looking for Telugu people. There are brands who are looking for exclusively Punjabi people. So if you are a regional content creator speaking in Telugu, speaking in Punjabi, or speaking in Bengali, anything like that, you also are quite highly valued. This is a new thing that is happening in the creator industry. It does not used to be like this. It was not like this before. Pehle it was straightforward. English pays the most, Hindi pays the next, and any regional language pays you the least. But because now more and more people are online, more and more brands are online, there is much more playroom, right? There was not enough Punjabi people online, exclusively Punjabi speaking people online, but now they are. So exclusive Punjabi brands, if I want to sell chole bhature, sorry for the stereotype, I'll stereotype myself. If I want to sell ready to cook fish to Bengali people, there were not enough Bengali people in the past online, but there are enough Bengali people now to just pick a Bengali speaking creator and promote my fish through to those Bengali people. So that is possible. So the language situation is, if you are comfortable in English, go ahead with it. If you're comfortable in Hindi, go ahead with it. If you have the choice, go with English. If you're not comfortable in Hindi or in English, just go with your regional language. It is absolutely fine. It is probably going to pay you good. Okay, you're not going to lose out on much. Then there is the visual perception. As I said, this includes your fashion, which I absolutely suck at. It also includes your camera quality. But most people think camera quality comes from the camera, but more than the camera, what matters is the lighting. It also comes from your set, like how does your background look like, right? Whenever I'm shooting videos, I generally have this monitor and my whole PC setup with a few lamps and artificial plants in my background. That looks a little premium, right? It also, if you are making that kind of things, like what car you drive, and if you're showing your flights a lot, this is why people show their flights, people basically flex all of these things, because it just makes more sense for a creator to do this. What if we want to do regional language and also in English? Do not switch languages, guys, because the problem is, if you do regional language, you'll get people who do not, like, you will get like 100 people who speak that regional language, and 90 people out of them will not understand English. If you upload an English video, suddenly 90 people that you already have is not going to watch. But if that English video, you upload a few English videos, you get 100 new people who speak English. Now you make a regional language video. Now those new 100 people cannot watch. So you're essentially sabotaging yourself. Do not switch languages. Then there is collaborations. Collaborations is really great. One of my favorite things to do. I don't do enough, I know, but it's really good. To collaborate with another creator is really good, because suppose there is this creator A who has 100k subscribers. There's creator B who also has 100k subscribers. If they make a video together, now this video will be watched ideally by 200k people. So this creator A is seen by 1 lakh new people. This creator B is also seen by 1 lakh new people. Perfect. Just by making one video together. No brand involved, no nothing. Nobody calling you a sellout. Great. Then there is spec work. This is basically means like when you particularly want to work with a brand. Suppose, for example, if I want to work with Comet the sneaker brand. I already work with them, but if I wanted to grab their attention, what I will do is I will get a Comet shoe, right? I'll get a shoe and I'll make a crazy dope video for them. I'll just upload it. They won't have to pay me. But if the video is good enough, they will come back, they'll reach out to me, and it has happened to me before. I can tell you, I can tell you this has happened to me before, okay? If you make good videos for people, they would often reach back to you and you will get some kind of collaboration with them. And last but not least, yapping is a actual genre now. People are just talking to their camera, even on YouTube, even on long form. You would not expect this to happen, but even on long form, people are actually just bringing up their phone camera, setting it up, or just laptop camera and just yapping. Most people think it is, oh, content creation just got easy. No, the production definitely got easy, but yapping is a genre, but yapping is not raw. You will always see, once you understand hooks, you will always see their hooks are well polished. They exactly planned how they are going to start the videos. They exactly planned what are the different points that are going to be talked about in those videos. They are just good at being natural. Like I am at this point quite good at talking to the camera and making it sound like, oh, I just wanted to say that. That just came into my mind. Oh, damn, that just came into my mind. It did not. It was scripted. That's how it is, guys. That is how it is. Take it? And then there is what next. For all of the serious people in you, now you know how to choose a niche, what kind of persona you want to build, how to find brands, like one part of it, right? All of the next steps, as I have already explained, are part of the creator blueprint. Oh, I like my handwriting over here. Oh, this could be the official logo. Crazy. I'll take that out later. I like how I wrote to create a blueprint. Beautiful. So yeah, what next is everything over here. And for you guys, for the Next 24 hours, 25 and a half hours, till the end of day tomorrow, I am running. You guys can get the early bird discount of 20% off. I can assure you this 20% off will never come back. It's not a very high ticket price. If you are serious about this, and as I said, there are the most common objection that people have. I have already talked about all of those in the website. You can look at all of those things. You can use the code early bird to get a 20% discount over all of the 3 tiers. You can look at the 3 tiers, and I will also walk you through what are the different things available. All you have to do is go to contentmastery.com and you can begin your first best step towards starting content. Someone said, bruh, I am a broke student. You do not have to get it. Everything you can find on YouTube, okay? You can find every piece of information on YouTube. You do not have to pay for the information. You only have to pay for the speed and access. Because getting all that information took me more than 5 years. Getting all that experience took me more than 7 years. That is why I'm not asking you to pay for information. You can get that anywhere. If you're a broke student, I have good videos that you can start off with on Sanko's Cut, this very YouTube channel. I'm going to be making more and more beginner guides on this YouTube channel, and you're going to love it. If you do not have anything to spend right now, do not spend. Absolutely do not spend. If you do not have anything to spend right now, okay? But if you're serious about this, if you want to take this a little forward, if you want to kickstart your journey, if you want to have all the ingredients so that instead of struggling for the first 8 months, you struggle for the first 1 month and you know exactly what to do. You do not wander around. You do not think about how do I buy a camera? How do I edit this? How do I record my audio? How do I grow? And all of these things. How do I manage everything on top of all of that? How do I monetize? How do I make money out of this? All of these things. If you want to take the next step, if you want to supercharge, if you want to go a little fast, that's exactly how you want to go. Can you make a video on DaVinci color grading? I have made multiple for free on this YouTube channel. I will make more in the future. But yes, that is it. And again, for all the people who are taking this, there will be a Discord community. I'll also explain like what are the different things you are mostly getting. So yes, of course, there is 17 lectures that covers everything. I have already explained what those 17 lectures are. Over here, there are 3 more demo classes. As you can see, 3+ demo classes, 3 demo classes, one for titles and thumbnails, where we literally scroll through YouTube and I explain to you which thumbnail is made thinking what. I talk about making your sound and audio sound pro. I talk about that. That is also a demo session. Literally open up DaVinci Resolve and show you how to do it. And understanding data, I literally open my own data tracker, my own analytics to show you how I reverse engineer virality. And why does it say 3+ demo classes is because there are going to be more. I'm going to be adding more and more demo classes. So there is also an access to community. So there is a exclusive community for all the people that get into this, a Discord community where we will be having contests, right? We will be having editing contests. We will be having content creation. Around content creation ke different contests every single month. We'll be having master classes every single month, some hosted by me. I'll also get some of your favorite creators to host a few master classes like every other month. We will also do group content audits, which is basically there will be a channel where you can submit your videos. And once a month, I will sit and watch through like 10, 15, 20 different videos of you guys, made by you guys, and give you genuine personal advice. This is something that you could do. The hook could be a little bit better. The video did not need to be this long. The editing could be better. The music does not fit, all of those things. And I'll give you genuine feedback. All those things will happen. And because I'm not keeping this one-on-one content audit, I'm keeping it group content audit because everyone can learn from one people's mistake and everyone can learn from everyone's mistake. We grow together exponentially. Then there is a content starter pack. If you need the initial sound effects, you do not want to buy into a platform. If you need the initial sound effects, initial overlays, and initial LUTs that you want to use for your color grading, you do not really need to go deep into color grading. If you just want to start off, all that you get for free. There is a content management system, the exact content management system, the content brain that I use you get that for free as well. There is, as I said, exclusive monthly masterclasses. This will not be available on YouTube like this. Exclusive monthly masterclasses that are going to happen inside the community, and community contests, as I've explained. And this community contest, I'm going to go bonkers with this contest because I want them to go big. I want the contest to be absolutely amazing. I want to literally call my creator friends as judges, and we are going to basically grill all the people who have submitted, and the prizes are going to be extreme. Okay, I and Krishna were talking about this. This is unofficial, but we were thinking we could literally give people things like the ZV-E10, something a 60,000 rupees camera. We can give people the MacBook Air M4, 80,000 rupees laptop. We can give people a professional light. We could give people an iPad Air, something like 50, 60 or 70,000. We could give people iPhones. So we are going to go big with this community contest. Then there are also things like special role in the community. For the highest tier, you can get a special role in the community. You can also get a special group with me where you can get one-on-one content audits every single month or probably twice a month. Right? I think twice a month is the exact number. Krishna knows this. Krishna knows more about this, but yeah, I just remember the numbers. I just remember the concepts. All right. Sony A6700 is a little more expensive, but I don't know. We might do it. Guys, if this goes big, right? If we become like 1,000 people community, nobody is stopping me. Like, I think there are few people in the comment section in the chat who have worked with me personally, and you guys know that I do not hold back on giving back to the community. I do not hold back on spending money for gear or spending money on something that is going to be an asset for you. I do not hold back in trying to help people, even people who have stopped working with me for a month or even years. They would still call me and I would always be there to help. So again, not to brag or anything, but it's going to be crazy. It is going to be crazy. We're also going to be holding very silly contests. I want to hold. I was fighting with Krishna with this. He does not like the idea, but I have been really wanting to hold a bad editing contest. Like, edit a bad video. Whoever edits the worst video gets a camera. Fuck it. I really want to do that. But yeah, that's where we at. We are at the end of this slide. The last slide is completely empty. Wow. But yeah, that's where you need to go. And the early bird discount, I'll also show you the website a little bit, I believe. There is a countdown to the early bird discount. You guys can check it out. If I go to, where is it? Display capture. Cool. You can see this. Can I go get this course anytime, or is it like Tarun's course? No, you can get this anytime. Okay. You can buy this anytime, but this discount is not going to be there. But you can get this anytime. That's absolutely fine. Okay. If I come over here, this is how we start off. There is a small video of me explaining why you should do this. Okay. Make sure to watch the video if you visit the website. Then more things, you can look through this. You can look through all of this, what we learned. I've already talked about this here. Here are a few more testimonials from people you might know. People you might know who really appreciate what I do, really appreciate my skills, and people who have actually like in person worked with me very closely. So yeah, that's there. And this is exactly how much time you have left to get this 20% discount. I can assure you the 20% discount is never going to come back. You can take my word for it. The 20% discount is never going to come back on this website. So you can use the early bird code and get this right away before this timer runs out. But do not worry. This will be available indefinitely. Okay. This will be available indefinitely. Does software matters in content creation? Not much. If you go to this particular, where are we? If we go, what do I have shared? Let's get this out. I talk about the different softwares and which one you should pick in this one, this right here in editing. This is one of the longest lectures in the whole creator blueprint. And here I talk about all of the most viable softwares and applications that are available. I think I talk about some 10 applications and softwares. I tell you the pros of it, I tell you the cons of it, which one is best for you. You can pick out, like literally. All right. It has been quite a long session. I still see 150 people with us today, and that is insane. That is absolutely insane. I could not ask for more. Thank you so much, guys. And I would like to congratulate you. You have taken the first step. All of the, I believe, I cannot exactly tell how many people joined in total. Okay, so total 1.5 thousand people tuned around somewhere around the way. But we still have 150 people. You guys have made the first first decision that you can be proud of towards a life that can, towards your dream life that can basically finance your life, and you can do something you love for living. And that is exactly what content creation means for me. I do love making videos, but more than making videos, I do love the freedom it gives me. I can do what I love and make money out of it, and I do not have to worry about other things. Right? And it does not just change my life, it changed my family's life as well. Okay, let's not get too emo here. But yeah, thank you so much for joining. It was a really nice time, and I will see you in the next one. A lot more videos are coming to this channel, a lot more guides, a lot more tutorials, and a lot more cinematic videos are coming to this channel. So I would highly appreciate if you guys could show some love, and they'll be really, really useful. And I would also highly appreciate if you guys could leave in the comments what other videos do you guys want. Not here in the comment, because this video is not going to be available for the public after this live ends, but on the videos that are coming. Or you can always DM me on Sanko's Cut on Instagram and on YouTube. A lot more very exciting content is coming your way. Also, the contest that I talked about, we will be hosting a content. The contest that I talked about, we will be hosting a content probably starting from the 15th of May, and it will go on till the end of May. So hop on before that. We are going to have a masterclass in May as well. We're going to have a group content audit. We're going to have a lot more demo classes, and I will also be breaking down my own videos and posting them as demo classes in the community, so you can get access to all of that as well. Okay, I think we should go. By the way, what is the score? Is Mumbai CSK? What's up? What is the score, guys? I have no clue. Although I'm not a Mumbai fan or a CSK fan, but yeah. But my team is not doing very well this time. CSK needs 46 of 41. Come on, man, it's too easy. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining, and I wish you a very happy weekend. I know weekend has already started. I wish you a very happy Sunday, and I will see you somewhere on the internet. You'll see me.